All right, I think we found one of our best 10 films of the year so far. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of Warfare, the newest films from director Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been quite a while since I've been truly affected to the extent of being uncomfortable while just being in awe of what is going on the screen. I think the last time that happened when comes to a war film may have been Black Hawk Down, may have been last year's Civil War, but more Black Hawk Down. This movie is very much in line with Black Hawk Down, where it's about a group of Navy SEALs, a platoon, who are tasked with taking down an insurgent group of individuals, but find themselves on the receiving end of that insurgent jihad. And these individuals, which are based off real people, and the story is based off a real incident that Ray Mendoza went through, is horrifying. It is a story about individuals who are put into a scenario that seems unwinnable, seems like they can't get out of it. And it also shows the nature of war and the nature of warfare when it comes to both sides, whether it be, individuals who are innocent that are living in this country, who the American soldiers take over, and then the American soldiers in general when they are mortally wounded or severely wounded in the process, and how do you handle that? And on top of everything, this takes place in real time. So for about 95 minutes, you are locked into a scenario that is very unfortunate when it comes to the nature of what the American soldiers have to go through in a wartime scenario. So I gotta say, this cast for this movie Warfare is quite impressive for something I didn't really know much about till a few months ago. This has Will Poulter as Cosmo Jarvis, Joseph Quinn, who of course is in Fantastic Four coming up, Kit Connor, Bennett, Michael Gandolfini, a guy from Reservation Dogs, which is called DeFaro Woon-A-Tai, who plays Ray Mendoza, the one that is the co-director of this movie. And I was going into this movie expecting quite the harrowing journey, to be fairly honest. Alex Garland is one not to hold back when it comes to his feelings on war, when it comes to his feelings on the culture of the world. He's a very in-your-face director, and when he brings in somebody who has worked with Alex Garland, with Ray Mendoza, who has dealt with these real-time scenarios when it comes to war because he was in this group of Navy SEALs, I mean, it makes a lot of sense that this movie would be pretty intense, to be fairly honest. And that's, for my honest review, that's exactly what it is. This is one of the best movies I've seen this year, on the simple fact that it holds nothing back. It feels real. It feels authentic. It feels like something that a person who went through this helped the person that is directing this out. But it's a movie that, in essence, allows these individuals the look for us into what they go through when something goes out of control and when something happens that is very difficult. And it's really interesting because, a lot of these soldiers that we see in the movie are not the real soldiers, when it comes by name, for the simple fact that the real life soldiers didn't want to be involved, which is perfectly fine because, it's a very difficult scenario that they had to go through. When it comes to IEDs, when it comes to people on the rooftops shooting at them, when it comes to just everything involved with the family that they took the house over, with the nature of how wounded some of these soldiers were, it's a very kind of crazy scenario. And for 95 minutes, you're listening to them have to deal with the simple fact that they're trying to get support, how wrong that goes, how they have different groups that are dealing with, one group is dealing with a different scenario on a different street, has to get to this wounded group that, once again has Will Poulter and Kit Connor and Joseph Quinn. You're watching real hardcore violence happening. There are points where the radio traffic gets out of control. There's points when the IED goes off, the explosion, and everybody is muffled. Okay, can't hear anything. It's chaotic. It's confusing. This movie is as real as it gets. It's the Saving Private Ryan, Normandy Beach. It's the Black Hawk Down scenario. But because it takes place in real time, about 90 minutes, because it is a movie where it is meant to be confusing on the simple fact of how difficult the scenario was, how awful the scenario was, how these guys who can be trained up to wazoo can never know what they're going to get themselves into. It really is a really it's a really harrowing movie, and it's really difficult to watch, and it keeps you in a seat for 95 minutes. And it's not gonna be for everyone, because people who have been through war, and I know this from people I've talked to, don't want to remember this type of stuff. And I definitely understand. This movie is one of the most difficult movies you'll watch in quite a while, because like I said, it's brutal. It's very beautiful to look at. It's very gorgeously shot. I saw it in IMAX. It is 100% IMAX. If you have an IMAX screen near you that can support this type of movie, definitely go see it there, because it is one of the most visceral experiences you'll see in quite a while. It's a movie that, you know, some people won't like because it doesn't really have a story, and the story simply is just individuals for 95 minutes trying to get out of a really chaotic scenario. But I love how the actors in this movie really portray what these characters would have gone through in a scenario where there's an explosion. Like, how do you deal with the PTSD problems? You know, you watch soldiers like the Joseph Quinn character who gets injured, you watch him have to deal with that scenario and how difficult it is for the people around him. And you watch like the nature of, like, let's say somebody dies and gets blown up, like, how do you react to that? What does your brain do to yourself? It's as real as it can get. I mean, you know, I love Black Hawk Down. I love Saving Private Ryan, but those are made in a more Hollywood fashion than this movie. This movie is very low budget, but also very realistic in its approach. And I'm not bashing those other two movies. I'm just saying this is a movie that really is gritty, is not holding anything back, and shows you the nature of war, because it's called warfare, and the nature of PTSD in the process of how that's going to affect people. And I that's why I appreciate Alex Garland so much, because he's willing to do films like this that really show the ugly sides of war. You know, at the end when you watch the family have to react to everything that happens, you know, it just shows you all sides and how just evil and disgusting and atrocious and like sad it is that these soldiers and these people on the other side have to be put through this massive ridiculousness. And once again, this is going to go in my top 10 of the year, because it's just such a powerful film. You know, I said from the beginning, you know, it's a film that really takes its material and does really great justice with it. And Ray Mendoza, I give props to him putting the story out there, because, you know, it's a very difficult thing to talk about, and I love that they're willing to go there. And once again, everybody in this film is great. I think they do a really nice job. I think it's really powerful, and it's a film that's going to sit with me for quite a while. It's going to be a movie. It's not for everyone. It's very difficult. It's very gory. It's very violent, but it is a true, honest portrayal of war in a simple incident that went out of control and spiraled out of control. So I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. It is a hard movie to watch. So there you go. Anyways, that's my take on Warfare, the movie by Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza. Be out in theaters. If you have an IMAX screen, go see it there if you're interested in seeing it. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Comments below, as I always say, what is your favorite like war movie that is very realistic, that is very hard to watch? Is it Black Hawk Down? Is it Saving Private Ryan? There's many other war films. This is one to Jarhead, where not everything happens the way you think it happens. But let me know in the comments below. But otherwise, if you like what you see in this channel, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out, guys.